All right. Good. Still morning. Good morning, Pat.
Good morning, Sam. Here we are.
It is the day of the day 15. I'll just say day
Wow.
after, but it's
Okay.
not the day after. It's
No, it is the day of the final Basho. Final day. Final. Wow. Holy hell! It is the final day of the November Basho 2024. Look at
and
that.
what a basho it was.
Indeed. I mean, what a banger. I mean,
Mhm.
ups and downs, highs and lows, excitement, tears of joy, tears of anger. Well,
Well, what? Who?
I don't
Who
know.
cried tears of joy? Who cried tears of
Me.
anger? Oh, okay, it's fair. Wait, what were you angry about?
I was angry about a couple things. We'll get to that later. Don't
Okay,
worry.
I'm very curious. What made you cry tears of
Really
anger?
angry. It's rage, tears of rage.
But your guy won.
Well, in fact, I think all my guys won.
Yeah, they did. Your team was absolutely stacked.
All right, let's just get right to it. I mean,
Well,
the trap trifecta.
first, we got to get to our drinks.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself.
Oh my
Okay,
god, this is embarrassing.
I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. All right,
You're so excitable.
I'm
Okay,
excited. I'm very excited.
what do you got here?
Well, today, so I had a friend over recently, and they are a big vodka drinker. I'm not particularly. He pretty much only drinks vodka if he's drinking, and we didn't have any vodka at the house, so I went out and got some vodka, and I found at our local purveyor of alcohol the Nika Coffee vodka. Nika coffee is it's not obviously real coffee. That's just like the word.
That's how I spell
But
it.
yes, no, obviously not how you spell it. Also,
Well, I mean, sorry, I meant that's not how they spell coffee, the drink. But Nika
correct.
Coffee is like the name of the company.
Correct. They make a whiskey that's really good, and I've had that
Yeah, they
before.
do.
But I had never seen the vodka, so I grabbed it, and here we are. So in honor of my great victory, which I'm gonna call right now, I will take a half shot of vodka today.
Are you having anything with it, or just
Nope.
okay?
Wait. I actually do have something. No, never mind. No.
You got time. You got time.
All right. So today I will be making a vodka, and I actually have a little bit of tonic. So we're gonna keep it simple and have a vodka tonic. Is that a drink that people have?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
I'm also having a little mixed drink. I've had this before. It's the Uniki whiskey that is aged in pine barrels.
Oh yeah, lovely.
And I'm just gonna mix it with a little Coke Zero. You know, it's a little whiskey.
Ooh,
Coke.
very Japanese.
Yeah.
They do like Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Ooh.
Cheers to that, huh? Hey.
And I'm almost out of this. So I need to finish it so I can get more. That's
right.
As an alcoholic would say.
Is that how that works?
I need to finish.
Don't think that's how that works.
I need to finish my booze. That's what.
Yeah.
That's what normal non-alcoholics say. Is I need to get more booze. All right. Well, cheers to this fantastic Basho.
Cheers to the Basho. Kanpai.
Kanpai.
Ooh, that's actually extremely delicious.
Yeah, I think I made mine a little strong. I need to mix it up a little bit here.
Well, I use my sake cup here that we got those in Kobe when we did our sake tour.
Ooh.
There you go.
All right. So let's get right into it.
Yeah. Oh, as I was saying, let's get
3 minutes later.
I mean, gee, it was just a fantastic one. Highs and lows for me, but I think I got to start. We got to start with talking. Let's just start with the big one. Obviously, last day we had Kotozakura versus Hoshoryu. I can't remember the last time we've had a finish like this where it was like, it wasn't like, oh, is there going to be a playoff? It was this. It was like final day, 1v1, winner takes all. Like there was no real way that it was going to be a playoff going into the last day.
I think the last time it was like that was I'd have to look up the dates. I'll put it on here.
Okay.
But it was like where both of them, they weren't undefeated. It was like Hakuho, Teruno, Fuji. I think one of them was undefeated. One of them was 13-1, and
Right.
Hakuho won. But that was like years ago. So again, I'll look up the right dates because I just don't want to be misquoted here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really fantastic. I mean, the Ozeki really Ozeki'd, which is we've been waiting like all year for them to do.
We have.
We were a broken record being like, oh, just waiting for this Ozeki class to step up, and they all did. I mean,
They did. Every single one of them.
Even Onosato, who, I mean, 9-6. So as a Shin Ozeki, usually they have the Ozeki hangover. I'm glad he did not get a losing record.
I mean, I attribute his not extremely stellar record to the fish drop. Let's be real. I mean, that we all know that's what did it.
That's worth a couple losses.
If he wouldn't have dropped that fish, I think he would have been like 12 and no, I'm just kidding.
He would have been up there.
He would have been up there, but we all know that took him down a couple pegs. But that'll happen. I mean, for me, the final fight was awesome too. It's like they're both these two guys. They have different styles. They're different sizes. Like especially seeing them next to each other like that. Kotozakura. I mean, it's funny because I think of Hoshoryu as kind of like a smaller guy, but like he's 6'2", like he's a big dude. But like Kotozakura is just like a mountain. And seeing them next to each other, it was like, whoa, he's a lot bigger than him. And it was funny because at the initial charge of the final match, like he kind of like Kotozakura was basically just like not even moving. He just was like taking the first initial blows. And so it was like, I was kind of interesting to see because it was like, okay, this guy really is significantly bigger and powerful, but not, going into it, I actually thought there was a good chance Hoshoryu was actually gonna win. He was looking so strong in the last couple of days, so I don't know.
He was, but I mean, I think we talked about it a couple of days ago. I texted you is if they both go in 13-1. I thought Kotozakura was going to win. So it's funny that you picked Kotozakura like on your team. I had Hoshoryu, and we both thought the other person was going to win.
And that is funny.
Maybe it was a little bit of like not wanting to curse him, but
perhaps.
I mean, for me, it's more so that Kotozakura the last few times. I mean, I think up until recently, Hoshoryu had a pretty dominant record against him, but Kotozakura has just won the last however many times in a row. So that's what I saw happening. Was just more of that. Even though they're at the top of their game, they're both just fighting so well. But I think at the top of their game, that's why I still thought Kotozakura was going to win. And I think, unfortunately, it was off of like a foot slip. So I'm not going to sound pessimistic and be like, oh, Hoshoryu lost it because because some people be like, oh, Kotozakura didn't win, Hoshoryu lost it, which just isn't true. Like, that stuff happens when you're fighting barefoot on clay. So, and that's just the nature of Hoshoryu's style of trying to get around to go for the throw, which he almost had. But Kotozakura is just such a huge being. It was really difficult. And so I was getting a little hopeful because Hoshoryu was moving a lot and trying to do things on him. And Kotozakura, like you said, was more just absorbing it. But then, I mean, he did get a couple pushbacks, and that's where Hoshoryu's foot slipped. So,
it brings up an interesting point. I was thinking about this earlier today while I was on my bike ride. We talk a lot about, we talk a decent amount about, like, guys tend to have, like, signature moves. And not all of them do, but they all have a signature style. But a lot of them are known for, like, their, that's their move. And Hoshoryu is, like, he's very much his, like, you'd have to put the term on screen, but it's, like, the single arm kind of throwdown, right? And that's unequivocally his move. Like, that's what he does. And he's really, really good at it. And so it's interesting because, you can kind of count on him to try to do that move, right? As his opponent, like you can like assume he's going to go for it. So I think you can like prepare for it, right? And I think in my book, Kotozakura doesn't really have like a signature move. He's more of just kind of like this power player who's like good at staying grounded and good at pushing guys out and doing whatever needs to do to win. So it's like seeing the two of them do this, and Hoshoryu going for his move and then failing, and Kotozakura countering it like perfectly, which is really rare because that move is usually a death blow. I think to me it kind of illustrates it. Almost to me in some ways seems like it's like Kotozakura like watched the tapes and was like ready for it, and he like was expecting it to happen, and then it did happen, and then he countered it. Whereas Hoshoryu was like, okay, if I can just get in and do my move and end this, then I can end it. It's just the way it looked to me. It was kind of interesting to see one person try their thing and kind of adapt to it.
And I mean that comes from Hoshoryu's background. He did judo, and then Mongolian folk wrestling is very twisting, pulling, throwing heavy, just from what they wear. So that's kind of his background. That's kind of why he has stayed smaller relative to other guys, is so he can still be agile enough to do that. I mean, he's been slowly packing on weight to be able to, have size, which is obviously needed, but also maintaining that agility and strength. And it's worked out for him, obviously, this Basho. So really happy that he did so well. I mean, the win didn't come out yet, and I sent you that meme of like
you got to put it up on screen.
I will, like, sure. Congrats, happy for you. But I mean, I'm happy for Kotozakura just because he's been close a few times.
I know, and his first win.
So to be the top of Becky this long, it is really great. And going into it, it seemed like everyone was hyping up Onosato, and 9-6, but still Shinozeki. I mean, I picked him for my team. For some reason I thought you had him, but I had him. But yeah, he still did well. I guess we're going to talk more about this Basho, but kind of like looking forward to the next one real quick. Who's your favorite?
Oh, baby. Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, you got to assume Kotozakura is going to do well again. He's going to be hungry for it. If he wins in January, he'll be up for Yokozuna promotion, perhaps. Well, not perhaps. He will be in consideration for it if he wins again. So you got to look for him undisputed. But I think for me, I wanted to briefly, and this is a good segue, talk about two people that I think are really interesting to look out for. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking forward to them. And one is Gonoyama. And he's not someone that we talk about a ton on this podcast, but he finished 11-4, which is great. He fought a lot of the big guys. He did really well, and I just thought he overall looked really strong throughout the whole tournament. It was just impressive watching him, and he's again not someone that's been super on my radar, but then kind of had this in my opinion, a bit of a breakout performance where he's up there with the big guys doing big things. So I think he's one to keep an eye on. He's obviously going to move up. He came into this number 8. I think he's obviously going to move up, but I think he's one to watch.
Yeah, he had a fantastic finish at 11-4. Yeah, we'll see, because he and Hoshoryu came in about the same time, and they're both hyped up. And then he had a few Basho where he did really well, and then he kind of slipped.
Yeah, he did.
The year was up and down for him, so he finished really strong with a really strong win over Abi.
That was what really put it over the edge for me.
Abi also surprising people. I mean, I won't go into. Okay, I will go into his win over Hoshoryu being a very one of the most egregious false early starts, but they didn't call it, so
that was absurd.
Yeah, maybe I can put a screenshot or something, but they say play to the whistle, so just. They played through anyway, and he won. So yeah, it was. I was kind of sitting there because I watch on the bus on the way to work, just so a little angry, but at the same time, he didn't call it, so you gotta go through with it. But besides that, Abi did really well, 11-4 as well.
He did.
So very, I'd say surprising. He's had a strong last few Basho, but 11-4
is really strong.
Yeah, so he did well.
And my other one that I wanted to bring up was Takanosho. We were texting a little bit about him, and obviously after his so close to actually winning, I think that was two Bashos ago. I can't remember, but where he was in the final match. I mean, again, finishing with 11-4 at number 6, meaning he's fighting top people. He just did great. I mean, today he beat Wakataka Kage on the final day, which is no small feat. I just think he's another one that's kind of like, you know, since we've been following it for the last couple of years, you kind of have these couple guys who have just been dominating, and he's kind of, again, kind of slowly crept up into the top ranks, and now he's like kind of, I think after this one in my book, like cemented himself as like, okay, like he's the real deal. Like he beat some of the big guys. He was able to repeat, like not almost winning, but getting really close to the end. And so I think he's another one definitely to keep an eye on for sure. And I'll be really curious to see kind of what he does coming up.
Yeah, for sure. I need to bring something up. I was going to say, so part of when I talk about favorites is that the last time non-Yokozuna won back-to-back Yusho, they all became Yokozuna. So Teruno Fuji, March to May 2021, he was an Ozeki. He made Yokozuna in September, or after July Basho. Before that, Haruma Fuji in 2012 won 2 in a row as Ozeki in July, September, and then he was Yokozuna. And then before that, you have to go back to 2007 to Hakuho, March, May. Wow. So, you know, it's really, really rare for guys to win back-to-back Basho. And I guess I should have looked into this before, because all the hype around Onosato, like everyone's like, oh, he's the clear favorite for this one. But yeah, it was really tough for him. And so I think just for that reason, not to sound like a hater, I don't think Kotozakura is the favorite, just because like the statistics show that whatever statistics, the records show that's really insanely difficult to do. And just with how well a lot of other guys are doing, a super emotional, huge win. You know, if he can hold out emotionally next Basho, I think then he'll deserve the Yokozuna title. But
I agree.
I think it's going to be very difficult, because you're going to have Onosato, we know, is hungry. Hoshoryu, especially after this one, is
he's going to be real angry after that one.
I think there's a few guys that are just gunning for that. So I think it'll be real difficult for him to hold on to it. As for clear favorites, I'm really not sure. I think Onosato bounces back and is in contention for the show next Basho. That's probably who I'd lean towards. I want to say Hoshoryu, but I still just think with that foot slip today, it shows that, because that happens to him like every Basho, he has a foot slip. So
it's true, he does. Why is that?
I mean, he didn't have any clunker losses. Even his loss against Abi, like, you know, you could say it was a false start, but Abi's a strong wrestler, so it's not like he's had before where he loses to someone that he should be beating. Totally. So if he's like sorted out that bug, I guess you can call it, of winning his clunker matches, then he's in contention. But I think Onosato would be like my pick for
I think that's a safe pick. Totally.
So we'll see.
Well, I have to also bring up Kirishima. You know me and my Kirishima. Speaking of haters,
I know. I was gonna say, like,
you know, it's just funny because I thought I really, he had a good one last one, and I thought he was gonna come back, and man, I mean, just a overall really bad performance. He finished 6-9, and then got absolutely humiliated by Hoshoryu in yesterday's Basho.
I know Hoshoryu. You think Toshinoshin's gone, and then Hoshoryu
brings the spirit. The spirit lives on.
Hoshoryu's inner Georgian came out.
Sure.
We didn't think he had any Georgian in him, but maybe he's got to get DNA tested. Maybe
perhaps. I think let's see the birth certificate.
Yeah.
So to me, I mean, I think he's, you know, I was talking to Kat the other day, and I called him the former disgraced Ozeki, and then I just like came out of me, and I was like, "What?" She was like, "Oh, what do you do?" I was like, "Oh, nothing."
He just lost. Like
he's not disgraced at all, but in my book, he's no. You know, I think it's kind of a shame. It just kind of was rough to watch. He just had so many losses.
Yeah, I agree.
But you know,
but I don't think this loss to Hoshoryu yesterday will be like as devastating, because I mean remember in January when he was in the running for the win, and everyone was talking about him being a possible Yokozuna.
Yeah.
And then he just got absolutely bodied by Terunofuji, just like
thrown
into that like WWE style, thrown into like the third row of the crowd. And
I forgot about that one.
It just devastated him. You could see his reaction. But yesterday, he kind of he was like grinning a bit, as if like, he
did laugh a little bit.
He was like, I got. Probably realized he put himself into that situation.
He knew he screwed up.
Yeah, exactly. Like he walked away from that being like, I know exactly what I did wrong. Probably not. Probably totally different. It was a different reaction from when he got absolutely demolished by Terunofuji. So
Very much so.
You know, he'll probably. I mean, he was Sekiwaki, so maybe drop down to Komusubi. I mean, no, he's definitely going to drop down. But maybe Komusubi, maybe M1. I'd have to look at the Bonzake math to see who would bump up there. I mean, you know, maybe Abi bumps up into Komusubi.
I think he will.
Maybe Wakamoto Hara will bump up and take that other Sekiwaki spot, since he finished 10-5, real strong.
Totally.
So Shodai will drop out of Komusubi.
Not a great run there. And then a quick roundup of some of the newcomers too. You know, Shishi, not a shining debut. Finishing at 5-10, a little lackluster. Looked a little low energy overall in my book. Looked a little Jurio, if I'm honest, which obviously he is. But in terms of the new guys coming up, I think he still needs a little bit more time. He looks a little undercooked, perhaps.
I mean, I watched him last few Basho. I mean, that's just kind of, I don't know, like that's how he is, but he's not the fastest guy. He's
clearly,
and he's 27 as well, so he's kind of at his peak right now. I think he's kind of maxed out, maybe like lower Maegashira, upper Jurio, probably. Like that's kind of where I see him for the next few years.
I agree.
So we'll see. But yeah, and then another guy I was excited about, Asakoryu, because he's another small guy with.
And I was gonna say, speaking of traps,
yeah, that flex shot.
He's a beef boy. That guy.
Yeah, he's a beefcake, all right. So I mean, 6 and 9, he'll drop back down to Jurio, but I mean, how old is he? I mean, he's 26, so he. You know, might pack on a little bit more weight, maybe bounce back, but that'd be good to see another smaller guy up here. And he did well today. I mean, he beat Meisei.
Yeah, so, which is that's legit.
Meisei is a seasoned dude, so that's a good. He can walk away with his head held high after beating him.
Absolutely.
Onokatsu.
Yep.
This was his second Maegashira Basho.
But held his own for sure.
Yeah. So some good lower ranking guys coming up, and he's 24, so we'll see about him.
And I got to bring him up, but my other favorite low ranker, Hokuto Fuji. I say it every podcast, but I love his spirit. I love his attitude. I love watching him fight. He just always gives it all, even if he can't always. He's just I'm a huge fan, and even though he finished 7-8 with a losing record, I still thought he held his own pretty well at the bottom. He had a couple relatively big wins. And I thought he looked better than he's looked in a while. So he has a special place in my heart, that guy. But his fight against Takayasu today, I'm pretty sure took Takayasu out. Takayasu limped out of the ring, and he's got a couple months, but I mean, we all know he's been in and out of injury for a while now. So I think that might be another blow. I mean,
he'll Takayasu finished with a winning record, but only by 1, and it might get shared 9. You know, he could, if he sat out next Basho, he'd be risking Jurio demotion. It'd be one of those things where it depends on how many people move up and down.
Exactly.
So he might just do what Takayasu does of like sitting out some of it, coming in, winning like 2 or 3 matches, and sit out the rest of it.
Right. He's done that before.
Yeah. So wouldn't be surprised if we saw that from him next time. And then just speaking of like younger, lower ranking, Juryo, there was the possibility of a 4-way playoff in Juryo, and unfortunately, it did not come to pass.
No.
But Kim Bozon won Juryo, 12-3, so he did really well.
He did I think he had one match this Basho, one guest match.
Yeah, he did. Mega share that he won. So yeah, he did well. Kim Bozon from Kazakhstan, so it's good to see. It would if Io Nishiki had won today. Hakuoho, Io Nishiki, and Tsurugisho all won today. Then they all 4 with Kim Bozon would have been 11-4. However, all of them lost. So
okay, well,
Hakuoho will bump back up to Maegashira. We'll see him back next time. He finished 10-5 at J2, so definitely coming back. Kim Bozon coming back. Tsurugisho was in the running, or his Royal Roundness. He finished 10-5 at J7. So
I miss him. I miss seeing him.
Well, watch Juryo and you'll see him.
I know. I need to.
Io Nishiki, the young Ukrainian, he finished 10-5, and he was someone that's been talked about quite a bit because he had 4 losses in his professional career up until this Basho. So even still finishing 10-5, and he is 20 years old. So he's
that's crazy.
He's a young dude, and he's small too. He is, let's see, 275 pounds.
That's small.
But he's 20 years old, so he's gonna start packing on the Chanko.
Oh yeah, lots of Chanko.
Maybe some other things because they don't drug test in Japan, but that's neither here nor there.
Hey, listen, okay, that's shots fired. All right.
I'm just saying.
Well, I think we're getting close to time here, but we have to really quickly. I think we have to both give our opinions on the Trap Lord trio. Now,
the trio speaks for itself because
the trio. No, I know it does, but I'm saying I think there's been a shift, and I'm noticing a descent because obviously we have the Trap trio, which is Wakataka Kage, Wakamoto Haru, and Takara Fuji. Currently, they are the current. I mean, we have some contenders coming up, but they haven't quite proven themselves yet. So it's still a trio. I think it was really interesting. I mean, Wakataka Kage did fantastic, but so did Wakamoto Haru. They both finished 10-5. They both looked great. But for me, I think the real story was Takara Fuji. I mean, it's funny because I picked these 3 guys in your face
just to spite
you, and they all finished 10-5. So it's interesting.
And I'm pissed off that it paid off for you.
It paid off for me. Thank you for that. And it's funny though that we don't really have like a clear winner because they all finished. I mean, we're the winners really. I
mean, you're definitely the winner.
I am the winner, but I thought Takara Fuji looked great overall too, and he's definitely going to jump up. He's started at Maestro 16, so he'll jump up significantly from there with his 10-5 wins. So I think it'll be interesting to see him fighting at the higher ranks with the big boys too. So looking forward to the continued battle of Trap.
Yeah, me too. Almost. So all of your guys had a winning record. All of my guys.
They sure did.
I picked Oshoma, who 4-11. So
yeah. That's not what you want to see.
So this might have been. I'd have to go back, but I think this might be like our highest scoring.
It might be
winning team.
So anyway, it might be.
So the points, Kotozakura won, so he got 4 points.
Yeah.
Wakataka Kage, Takara Fuji, Wakamoto Haru all got 10, so that's 2 each. So you finished with 8 points. I had Onosato 10-5, 2 points. Oshoma 0 because 4-11. Mason finished 8-7.
Okay.
So that's 1 point. And then Hoshoryu got 13-2, so that's 3 points. So I finished with 6. So I still had a strong team.
It's a pretty good showing, realistically, but not good enough.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So, yep, you win. I gotta give you something. I already have the Ozeki sake. And
well, yeah, I think you owe me 2 now at this point because I won last time also. So.
But yeah, you forgot. Oh. That's what I'm saying. I already got you this.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, I just said it. Alrighty.
Yeah, fantastic one. I'm really looking forward to the next one. I think it's set up for some excitement in the new year.
Yeah, 2025 is going to be fun.
Indeed. Well.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks for watching.
Stay safe out there.
Yeah, that's
or something. Okay. I don't know. Whatever.
All right, guys. Take care. Bye.
See you guys in January.